I'm Zach with Vanish Underground, and welcome to the new Yonge Street Rapidway. This is the new Yonge Street Rapidway. Located on Yonge Street in Richmond Hill, this 6.5 kilometer Rapidway services Viva Blue buses running between Finch Station and Newmarket Terminal. With an average of 13,500 passengers per day, this is the busiest Viva route in York Region, with buses running every 10 minutes or better during the daytime on the southern portion of the route. Early construction on the Rapidway began in early 2016, with road widening beginning in 2018 and the Rapidway opening for service in December 2020. This is the final segment of funded bus rapid transit to open in York Region, for a total of 33.7 kilometers of lanes throughout Markham, Richmond Hill, Vaughan, and Newmarket. The new Rapidway is divided into two sections, running between Richmond Hill Centre and 19th Gamble Station. The southern section runs 3.6 kilometers from Garden Avenue to Major Mackenzie Drive, and includes 4 Rapidway stations at Bantry-Scott, 16th Carville, Waldrick Road, and Yonge and Major Mackenzie. The northern section runs 2.9 kilometers from Levendale Road to just north of 19th Avenue, and includes 3 Rapidway stations at Elgin Mills Road, Bernard Avenue, and 19th Gamble. Between the two sections, Viva buses continue to run in mixed traffic through downtown Richmond Hill, servicing the existing curbside stop at Crosby Avenue. York Region Transit's Viva Blue bus services these Rapidway stations on 3 separate branches. Viva Blue to Newmarket buses service all stops between Finch Station and Newmarket. Viva Blue A buses follow this route, bypassing the Richmond Hill Centre stop in rush hours. Viva Blue to Bernard buses service all stops between Finch Station and Bernard Terminal, with buses looping off-street through the terminal property. Local YRT routes continue to operate in regular traffic, servicing separate stops on the edge of the roadway. On the Rapidway sections, 2 bus-only lanes run in the center of the roadway, controlled by dedicated transit signals at each intersection. 2 driving lanes in each direction are located on the outside of the Rapidway lanes. With a few exceptions, there are no dedicated right-turning lanes, in order to create a uniform street width along the corridor. Left turns and U-turns are only permitted at intersections, with dedicated signal phases controlling these movements. Bike lanes are also present along most of the corridor, with painted bike lanes between Garden and Major Mackenzie, as well as Levendale and Elgin Mills, and raised cycle tracks between Elgin Mills and 19th Avenue. As part of the construction, widened sidewalks were constructed along the corridor, along with planter boxes between the sidewalk and the roadway. While the Rapidway and sidewalks are completed, plantings and bike lanes are still being constructed, and will be finished in 2021. Along the corridor, 7 Rapidway stations service buses on Viva Blue, and are located in the center of the roadway. With the exception of the Yonge and Major Mackenzie station, each platform is located on the far side of the intersection, reducing signal delays for buses. At Yonge and Major Mackenzie, Both stations are located across from each other 1 block south of Major Mac, on the north side of the Hopkins Street intersection. Each station features a tinted glass canopy, which is lit up at night and hangs over the platform and part of the bus lane. In the center of the canopy, a heated enclosed shelter is provided, which includes automated entry doors and benches. Passenger information is provided by a next vehicle departure board in the center of the platform, as well as PA announcements and static signage. At the end of the platform closest to the intersection, 2 Presto machines accept fare payment, as well as a machine for cash, credit, and debit transactions. Each platform also contains security cameras and an emergency call button. Walkways from the end of the platform lead to the intersection, which contains a pedestrian push button and crosswalk to the corners. Buses entering and exiting the Rapidway are controlled by a mixture of lights and signs. North of 19th Avenue, bus movements are controlled by a bus merging sign, which flashes only when Viva buses are approaching. At Bernard Avenue, a dedicated transit lane and signal allows buses to turn left into the Rapidway after leaving the Bernard terminal. This lane is only used by Viva buses that short turn at Bernard, as Newmarket-bound buses use the Rapidway station on street. To access Bernard Terminal, buses merge out of the Rapidway just north of Elgin Mills Station, transitioning to the curb lane to enter the terminal. North of Levendale Road, northbound buses enter the Rapidway at the entrance to the Richmond Heights Plaza. Southbound buses leaving the Rapidway proceed through the intersection, before merging back into traffic before Levendale. At Major Mackenzie, northbound buses leave the Rapidway via a dedicated transit signal, while southbound buses enter the Rapidway from the left lane just south of the intersection. The final exit is at Garden Avenue, with a dedicated transit signal allowing buses to exit left onto the Highway 7 Connector Road or continue south onto Yonge Street. Northbound buses enter the Rapidway just north of the intersection, merging in from Yonge. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this tour of the new Yonge Street Rapidway. If you have a question or we got anything wrong, leave us a comment down below and we'll be sure to get back to you. As always, feel free to leave a like if you want to see more. And as for us here, we'll be vanishing underground until the next one.